Hello, friends. I got all of my tasks done today. I had a really good work day, worked really hard, and I was taking a break and drinking some tea and found a video on YouTube from the School of Life, which I really love the School of Life. If you've never checked out their channel, it's wonderful. But this is a video I had never seen before, and it's called Wu Wei, Wuwei. And I'm not going to reiterate what I learned from this video because I'm going to link it for you in the description box below so you can watch it for yourself. But oh my goodness, it was just such a cool video and just really meaningful to me at this time in my life. And I don't know, it reminded me of so many things, and it reminded me very much of an essay that I wrote. I'm trying to see here, I have it pulled up. I wrote it back in 2008, May of 2008, so 10 years ago. And I was going through a divorce. Actually, I had already been separated for several years, but we were going through the divorce, and it was a rough time, you know. It was a really rough time for me. And I was doing the I Ching every now and then, which is something you can also look up. I don't want to get into that too much, but it was a way to it's sort of like using tarot cards. It was a way to look at something in front of me and have it speak to me according to my life circumstances, and sometimes it would help me find my way through things. And anyways, I wrote this essay and I want to read it to you, and then I want to show you some artwork. So I'm not going to read the very first part, but here it goes. I've had an interesting few weeks, with everything coming to a head with the divorce, all the seemingly infinite things it affects, things I just never considered. I've been inwardly in a tailspin, trying to sort through it all and not lose my way. Life is good all around, and the changes I've had to make feel right. But there are moments when I begin to sink, and I can't help but think of a lesson I read about sometime a few weeks ago in the I Ching. The one that suggests that we flow like water, around and over and through the obstacles of life that life very often puts in our way. The difficult situations that can range from simple annoyances to really huge challenges that might have profound effects not only for us, but for those whom we love. Just thinking about it can put you smack dab in the middle of a whirlpool. But so what if we spin around for a while? Eventually we'll break free and move along, right? I hope so. But what the I Ching says, and I admit it seems like a basic grandparent wisdom packed in fancy New Age ancient wisdom words, is that if we flow through the difficult obstacles, staying true to what is pure and innocent in ourselves, we will eventually escape them and reach a place of refuge and good fortune. It's not unlike when my grandmother was trying to teach me how to drive, and she said, "Kateri Renee, just drive the damn car," as she was making me drive across the Hoover Dam. So that's what I'm doing, folks. I'm just trying to drive the damn car. I certainly know it's easier for me than for most women in my situation. I have the emotional support of my family and friends. I have a home and children who are exceptional human beings. I have a decent job and income and the security of health benefits. My life is full of the things I am passionate about. I am comfortable with stretches of solitude. I do recognize and am so very grateful for the graces in my life. It's still a radical change in life, though, and I really feel the obstacles, no matter how small they may seem to others. But I think the lesson is in not acting and trying always to remove them, but in accepting them and moving forward. Do you know how scary it... I'm not going to even read that part. It's not important. So here's the end. Sitting by a rushing creek or river is such a centering experience, watching the water slip over mossy rocks and cascade down shelves of time-worn granite. It's interesting to think how it was the water that shaped them. The soft water cut through that seemingly indestructible stone. Just water, moving along in the way that water does, the way that gravity pulls it, going with the current and not against it. It's kind of an eternal dance, really. Sure, it's affected by many things along the way, like drought or abnormal amounts of snowfall that melt into levels that overflow the banks for a few days as it finds a way to even off. A few days of frenzy. Sometimes the mud gets stirred up and it's thick and opaque, and sometimes it's as clear and reflective as a mirror. There is beauty all along the way, as well as danger, but it keeps going, moving along and over and around and through. And it even stops now and then, settles in a silent pool. It collects itself in the spaces that it discovers along the way. Lessons for us all. So that's the essay that I wrote. And even though it was about my life circumstances at that time, when you watch the video that I'll share, it also is so much about our art practice. It's about flowing with what happens. And I think you notice, I've gotten better and better at this, and I think you notice maybe when I'm doing an art video, an Artist for Everyone video or something, and I make a mistake or something happens that was unexpected, I'm usually like, oh well, and I just keep going and I let it be what it is. And that's the lesson. That's the lesson. It's all about the process. It's all about the process. And our intuitive drawing practices are so good for us to teach us this lesson. So I'm going to show you some intuitive drawing practices here that I've done. And these were all done during classes that I hold in my studio on intuitive drawing practices. And so the basic premise is you take a sheet of watercolor paper and you put water all over it and you just drop paints randomly, whatever speaks to you at that moment. There's no rhyme or reason to it. You just drop paints down. And then when it dries, you see something and you either surround it in paint or you paint over it. So in this one, I saw a couple things at first. At first I saw cactuses with a cactus flower, but then I saw a fish, and I love painting fish, so that's what I did. Okay, here's more fish. I surrounded the fish shapes that I saw with more paint, and then I used a white gel pen to make their scales. This one, and this might be kind of hard to see, but this is a deer. It's not a real deer in any way, but that's what I saw, and so I surrounded him in paint and added more to the eye that I saw, and added an ear and a nose. This one reminds me of the Snow Queen. See her face and her hair and her beautiful dress and the sparkles coming out from her. Yeah. And then this one, this was done with the child's watercolor set, just purples and blues and green. And I saw this little person sitting here with a bowl of wishes. And so I just painted her on top and just surrounded her with ink. It doesn't require great skill to do this because it comes from your heart, and whatever happens is okay. It's what you see and it's what you experience. These things don't have to be shown to anyone else, but the lessons are here for us. Whatever happens is good. Another fish. So this one I never did anything with, but you know what, as I'm looking at it, I see a dragon. So I could just take paint and outline him and let him be a dragon. And this was the start of another deer. You never know. You never know what you're going to see. This is some kind of strange bird. Here's one that I haven't done anything, but you see how loose and expressive this is? So this one, you could simply paint around the heart shape and make it a heart. And it's beautiful, just the way it is. This one, I saw a woman riding a fox. Doesn't have to be real. It's not supposed to be real. It's what's there. It's what you see. This one I never did anything with, but I will someday. This one is a little girl riding a rabbit to the moon. That's what I saw. And so that's what it is. Very special to me. This one I've shared on Instagram recently. I saw this beautiful woman in a field of dandelions with the wind sweeping the dandelion seeds up into the air. You never know. And I hear another one that I haven't done anything with yet, but even if I didn't do anything with it, look how beautiful that is. The textures and the colors, they just glow. So my point is that in any of our art practices, we have to learn about non-action. So when you watch the video, you'll see what that means, but Wu Wei basically means doing nothing. It means a non-action kind of action. So we're like water. We flow around the obstacles, and we keep flowing around the obstacles, and we just keep going in the right direction. We let gravity pull us along. We don't fight the current. We just accept what is, and we go with it each and every moment. And when we come to obstacles, we can flow around it, and eventually we will wear them down and dissolve them. And it's true with our life and with our painting. We can't be so hard on ourselves. We really can't. We have to allow things to be as they are and enjoy the moments we have. So I had to share this with you because, I don't know, it was just special to see this video. And you'll see at the end, it talks about art, and it talks about the idea of Wu Wei as applied to art. And I think you'll really enjoy it. It's very, very important, at least to me. Okay? That's it. That's all I have for you. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope this wasn't boring. Anyways, it's from my heart, and I felt it, and I just felt like I wanted to share it with you all. All right. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.